All right. So, first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming today. This is our first meeting of Sitting Together, which was not my name title. I have to hand it over to John. John and I had a Buddhist group at Montclair many years ago, and we were reminiscing about it. And, being quarantined, I haven't been able to teach much meditation, and we haven't really connected with a Sangha, which just means community. So John and I were discussing this idea of starting this online community, a secular online community. This isn't Buddhist or anything. And we kept talking about it, and we finally said, let's just do it. And he just called it Sitting Together. And I love the simplicity of that, just kind of coming together and, just having a community where we can support each other, where we can give each other guidance, and where, it can almost be like a refuge for you in these crazy times to just have some open-minded, loving, caring people that want to connect deeply, that want to live a good life, and that want to use everything that life offers as a way to cultivate wisdom and compassion, and it's just fun to get together too, and to laugh, and to just to be together. And I do hope at some point to expand this to a place. Obviously, when things reopen, we can meet somewhere. And actually, I want it to be meet somewhere and virtual, because not everybody is from around the same area. So I think we're going to just kind of to grow it in this way, and no expectations. Right? I do it and see what happens. That's kind of how it works. So for today, there's this quote that has been coming up, and probably because it's just on a radio commercial, over and over again. I forget what the commercial's for, probably insurance or something. You know how these companies use all these deep things just for selling things. But so it's a poem by TS Eliot, and I've heard it before. I took Dr. Kogan's TS Eliot course, which was amazing. But this just keeps coming up, and it keeps sticking with me, and that's usually a sign that I should pay attention or talk about it. So it says, at the end of all our searching, we will arrive at the place we began and know it for the first time. So I'll read it one more time. At the end of all our searching, we will arrive at the place we began and know it for the first time. And for me, this means a lot to me, because for so much of my practice, I was searching. I was searching for answers. I was searching for this underlying hidden meaning that I couldn't see for some reason. I was searching for enlightenment. And if I really am honest, I wasn't searching for enlightenment. I was searching for freedom from life. I didn't want the difficult stuff. I didn't want the pain. I didn't want the parts of myself I didn't like. I was looking to push all that away and just be in this eternal state of happiness, right? Which doesn't really exist, if you haven't noticed. But it wasn't until maybe 10 years in that I finally realized that this is it. And those three words are so important and so deep. This is it. Right? It sounds so simple and so stupid. Well, duh. But it's so profound. And when you really get that, like, oh, we can all understand it intellectually. Yeah, this is, where else can I be? This is it. But to really feel it and to know deeply that this is all you have. This body as it is right now, this mind as it is with all of its habits and, wisdom and neuroses and, the people in your lives, your family, the friends, the situations, your work, it's all just what it is. This is it. This is your life. And we're always trying to search for something beyond, something better, some other time, some other place when we can be happy. And there is no other time. There is no other place. And, for me, when I really understood this, that this is it, This is my life. Maybe these are the things that I have to deal with the rest of my life. I finally was able to relax a little bit. There was some ease, there was some peace, because I wasn't fighting, right? And that's not to say I'm not still working towards changing things or standing up for injustice or things like that. But I'm coming from a place of, this is it, this is enough, and this is my practice, right? So I want to read one more story. So there's this old Buddhist story about a woman who decided she wanted to become enlightened. She asked all the various spiritual teachers in the area what the best way was to do this. They advised her to climb up the highest mountain and go deep into the cave located at its peak. She was told she would find a wise old woman in the cave who would help her find her enlightenment. She went on her journey, and after much hardship, she finally reached the cave where, sure enough, she found a little old woman sitting in meditation. She bowed to the wise woman and explained her quest, asking if she could help her attain realization. The old woman smiled and asked the seeker if she was sure that's what she wanted. Of course, she answered yes after this whole journey, whereupon the old woman turned into a demon with a stick and began chasing her, screaming, "Now, now, now, now." So for the rest of her days, the woman could never escape this shouting demon. And you might be like, well, that's a weird story. And it kind of is, but enlightenment is now. Realization is now. Practice is now, right? And that demon shouting now is actually helping that person, because we fall out, right? We fall into the secondary, the thinking. We fall into the past. We fall into the future. And our practice is to really ground ourselves in now, over and over again, and to shift from a thought-based life to an experiential-based or an experience-based life. And that's what this story is about, is making that shift from what's my life going to be, or what could have been and how it was, or I don't like this, I like that, to just that direct experience. Like, instead of drinking this and, saying cold, just go right to the cold. That's your real life. That's the expression of reality in that moment. Coldness. I mean, even that's saying too much, It's going directly to the felt experience as often as possible. And I can't tell you how many times that has helped me, like when I'm anxious about something or when I'm angry at something, to have that ability, which takes practice with meditation, to let go of the thought about who's making me mad or what I'm worried about, and just come directly into that feeling. And then even with anger, even with anxiety or grief or depression, there's ease. It's almost like instantly there's ease, because you're letting go of that resistance and you're just kind of surrendering to the moment. And again, you're not becoming a rock, or you're not becoming a rug for people to trample on. But you're saying, yes, this is my reality. These are the ingredients of my life in this moment. And you're also saying, this is it, right? So once you accept, okay, this is it, then it's no longer, how do I get out of this, or how do I make it better? It's what's next? What's the most appropriate response to this moment of reality? And to really live from a place of clarity, right? The true nature of our mind is clear, open, spacious. And we forget that because we're caught in the ideas and the thoughts and the moods, and we haven't done much practice just resting and clear seeing. But the more we practice clear seeing and openness and compassion, the more we live from that place. And it sounds a little ideal, and it is. It's not, we're not always in that place. I'm not. I surely am not. But you work towards resting more fully in the experiential experience of the moment, from a place of clarity, from a place of openness, from a place of spaciousness, from a place of acceptance. And it makes a big deal just to make that little shift, and this week, really put that into play. If you're like obsessing over something, or you're worried, or you're thinking about something that's causing you some kind of angst, see if you can let go and connect with what else is here, right? Besides the story. What's the story? Is something being created on top of something else, the reality. So what is that reality? And that's what I've been trying to do in my meditation lately, is what's here without my effort? And how can I rest in that? So I stop, and I feel the experience of this awakenedness, right? There's a aliveness, an awakenedness that I'm not making, that I'm not creating. It's just kind of here. There's sounds that I'm not making. There's thoughts that are just kind of popping up. There's feelings and sensations in the body, and I kind of just rest there in reality. And that's where at least I find a little ease and a little peace and joy from that place. So yeah, so to arrive, let me go back to our original quote here. At the end of all our searching, we will arrive at the place we began and know it for the first time. Now, there's many different interpretations for this, and I think it's like any religious texts or poems, it's alive, meaning when you read it, it means something for you and your life in this moment. And for me, this is saying, this is it. And you might have to go on that journey trying to find something else, trying to find this better place, this, the grass is greener syndrome. And that's fine. If that's where you are, keep searching, keep looking. But there's a good chance you're going to end up right where you began. And that's not to say you're going to be the same person, but you're going to end up right here where you've been all along. It's like the saying of the fish searching for the great ocean, going around, swimming around, where's the great ocean? And all the masters just laugh at him because he's already so integrated into it. He can't be separate from it. Why even say anything at all? It is funny. How can you be searching? You're already one with it. You're already swimming in it. All right. So to arrive that place and to really know it. So for me, that's to really deeply look at life in this moment and just start learning and understanding. And it's not pretty. It's not perfect. You're going to still be neurotic, but look at that. Be willing to look at that, because that's connecting with all of us, right? How we get stuck in our anger is how everyone gets stuck in our anger, and how people who do horrible things are stuck in their anger and they act on it, so we're really just connecting with our own humanity, and we're not feeling guilty about it. We're not feeling bad about it. We're just saying, this is what it means to be a human. And more importantly, this is what it means to be me in this moment. And this is where I am, and that's fine. And these are the ingredients I have, and I'm going to work with them. I'm going to learn. And if I keep screwing up, great. Zen masters are Zen masters because they screwed up so many times. We're making mistakes and feeling bad for them. They've made lifetimes of mistakes, and that's why they've become masters. It's only by messing it up over and over again that you finally learn something, right? And there's one of my favorite quotes that Jack Kornfield always says is, I forget who it's by. It's a monk, but it says, last year a foolish monk, this year no change. Right? And that is just something to think about. So we can discuss this after, but I want to do some sitting first. So we're going to do about 20 minutes meditation. And I'm going to try to get this bell to work. You might hear it for a little, and then it cuts out. For some reason, bells don't do very well in microphones. But if you've never sat before, basically, you're going to hear the bell ring. You can take a couple of deep breaths, relax your body. And if you have a method that you already are practicing, you can practice it. If not, you can just do a very simple method of counting the breath. So you breathe in, you breathe out, and you'd say 1 silently. You'd say 1, breathe in, breathe out. You'd say 2, breathe in. You go all the way up to 10, and then you'd start back at 1. And if you have any thoughts, you just say, thinking, and you start back again. Does that make sense? Pretty clear. So There's no right way, there's no wrong way. Just try your best to count each breath. All right. So get into a comfortable position. Sit up tall, hands on the knees or in the lap. Close the eyes. And once the bell finishes, you can just start with your method. So in about a minute, the bell will ring, and just listen to the sound of the bell until it stops. So all together, we can take a nice deep breath in the nose, out the mouth. Slowly, you can move your fingers, your toes. You can rock your body. And when you feel ready, you can slowly open the eyes. So at this point, we're going to stop the recording, and we're going to stop the Facebook if that even went through. And obviously, anyone watching out there, if you want to join and do the sharing part, that is really the best part, in my opinion, then just join us next week on Zoom. So you can email me, author Mark Van Buren at gmail.com. You could find me on Instagram, author Mark Van Buren. Message me there, and I can get you guys the link. All right, so let me just shut all this off.